Hello, it's Crypto Farmer XD, and today we're going to be taking a recap look at the GoMining Townhall that was hosted over on their X account on April 16th, 2025, with their Chief Product Officer Dan and their Community Lead Jan. Now, they went through and basically talked about what the recent changes were on the platforms, like in the last month or so, and then kind of what's coming up in the near future, and then what's coming up in the broader 2025. So I went through, listened to it, broke it all down, in case you don't have an X account or you don't want to listen to the whole hour-long segment. This will give you the highlight points in this video. As always, there are chapters and timestamps that you can click on if you want to go look at something specific in the description as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on to what has changed in the recent times on GoMining. So first of all, they talked about virtual wallet. If you've been using the platform, some of these changes have already, you might already know what some of these changes are, but basically the UI was redesigned for the virtual wallet. And then they implemented the ability to more easily track your transactions in the virtual wallet and filtering. So now there's like some color indication if you do like a spell spin versus a withdraw versus a deposit, etc. It's a little bit easier to tell where your GoMining tokens are going. And then they also briefly mentioned stuff that's coming in 2025. Again, we kind of already know this is happening based on their last town hall in February, but they've just mentioned it again, which is bank cards coming soon, first to the EU and in the virtual form, but maybe physical, or yes, physical in the future, but first to virtual and in the EU. And then they talked about stablecoin support, which specifically they mentioned USDT. So being able to swap your GoMining tokens or maybe your Bitcoin within your virtual wallet, so you don't have to go through like a third-party platform like PancakeSwap or something like that. And then finally with the wallet, they mentioned being able to save your deposit addresses for easier transactions. So right now when you want to buy something, say through like Coinbase Pay, if you want to buy GoMining tokens, you get a temporary transaction wallet address that you have to send it to. They're basically trying to streamline that process to make it easier to purchase things on GoMining. Next up, in the recent time changes, we have the withdraw your Bitcoin reward changes, which basically eliminated the ability to auto withdraw your Bitcoin rewards. So no longer is there like a threshold that you have to meet in your virtual wallet to get it deposited to your own external wallet. Now you have to go in and actually manually withdraw it out. Not really a huge deal unless you're super lazy, honestly. It also helps with eliminating the amount of kind of transaction fees, or not necessarily transaction fees, but the amount of like fees when it comes to maybe if you're tracking this with a tax like tracking ledger. Because some of those services pay per transaction fee, right? So it's not really a huge deal unless you're super lazy. You can just go in there and initiate a withdrawal. There are two options you can use. There is a fast one and then a free one. Honestly, the free one's probably just fine unless you're needing your money ASAP. But basically the free one is at 24 hours, so you'll get your deposit within 24 hours. The fast one is just quote fast. So I think it might be, it doesn't really say instant, I don't think, but it will be faster, but it does take a fee, which it will display before you initiate it. So you can kind of go click in there and kind of say how much you want to withdraw. Then it'll give you a fee pop up and you can say, okay, do I want to do it or do I want to wait? So those are the recent changes there. And I think we have one more. The weekly raffle changes. Again, another thing that used to be automated when you do the upgrading to a miner. If you did at least $10, you would get one ticket into the weekly avatar drawing. Now you need to actually go into the drawing page and click take part in order to actually be put into the drawing. They're doing this because previously they didn't have like the winners, not all, I think they said like 25% of the winners never actually claimed their reward. So this is kind of a way to make it that people who are actually active on the platform have a better odd, and they're actually going in there and they're actually, clicking the button to participate, and it's not just going to some throwaway account out there in the wind, right? So it's actually a good change. Just remember, if you're going to do your upgrades, to go in there and click the upgrade button. And then the other thing they mentioned is there's going to be more rewards. For example, like maybe a loot box. I think recently they did like tickets to Vegas. I don't know if that's still going on or if it was, but they did that. So like they're going to be implementing different rewards in addition to the avatar key. So just keep an eye out for that as well. Now for the more exciting stuff that's coming in 2025. They mentioned Miner Wars leagues, loot boxes, sub accounts, which is the first time I'm hearing about that one, GoMining Academy, and API access. So we're going to walk through all those in the next couple slides. All right, so first up, Miner War Leagues coming April 22nd, 2025. So just around the corner from this video going live. They put out a really good blog post on this. So if you want more detail, go ahead and check out. I'll drop it down below in a pinned comment or in the description, but go ahead and check that out as well. But the highlights here are there's going to be 4 leagues. There's going to be, it's called the Dune, Horizon, Eclipse, and Odyssey in that order. Each league is going to have a cap on multiplier. So if you play Miner Wars, you know you have like your 1x, 2x, 4x, 8x, etc. up to 256. So each league is going to have a cap. So if you want to go after the 256, you're going to have to go to Odyssey League. If you want to go after the 128, it's going to be an Eclipse, etc., etc. The top 3 clans each week will move up, and the top 3 or the bottom 3 clans will move down. So it's a weekly kind of adjustment depending on where you're placing. And then the the Dune, Horizon, and Eclipse rewards are going to come from boost spins, so kind of how it does right now. Well, not 100%, but basically the boost spins from that. If you're in Dune, all the spins on the boost, you know, it'll divvy up some percentage of the rewards there. Odyssey is going to have that, but also a bonus one. So there's going to be another tokenomics voting there. So based on the tokenomic votes, it's going to go, you know, you're going to have an additional reward for the Odyssey for the big, like, super top of the league clan, right? I'm sure we're going to get more details on this as well. And like, as we go through the process and explore these leagues, we're going to learn more as well with your clans and things like that. So it should be exciting. Hopefully, you know, it all goes smoothly. I have seen other platforms where they introduce different tiering and it kind of screws things up. But I have faith in GoMining, so, you know, I think they probably did their homework, and, you know, they're also clearly very adaptive to and receptive to community feedback. So, you know, it'll develop as time goes on. It's still in beta, right? So that's what's coming to Miner Wars with the leagues, and then we have some more stuff for Miner Wars as well, which is the in-house bot. So this is something also that is new that I've not heard about so far, which is basically going to allow you to automate strategies for a more fair play. So currently there are ways that people are making bots for round notifications and things like that. Or maybe there's people automating, I don't know if this is true or not, just me speculating, but like automating like, oh, this is a 64 multiplayer, you know, somehow automate the taps of a device to, or on a PC emulate a mouse click to then spin spells, right? So you're not have to be there 24/7, but they're going to implement a way to do this kind of in-house. Not exactly that. They didn't really say how, but it is going to be a bot in-house that you can use on the platform itself to make it more fair and everybody has more level playing field, basically. Also, a bunch more new boost types will be coming out. Mini games will be coming out, which basically will keep you busy during rounds. I know right now there's been a lot of long rounds, and it's kind of just, you go in there, you blow your spells at the first few seconds or minutes, and then you have to wait around 20, 30 minutes, an hour, depending on how long the round is. So mini games will allow you to kind of kill that time, as well as earn free boosts by playing those mini games. We'll learn more about mini games in the future. All right, something else that I kind of caught before in one of my other videos is loot boxes are coming. Which, you know, if you're a gamer, loot boxes, you either like them or you hate them. But these ones sound like they're going to be all right. I mean, it obviously depends on the odds and what's in them. But, you know, hey, free stuff is free stuff. Can't complain if it's going to be something you were going to get anyways. Basically, there's going to be several ways to earn them. So like raffling or leveling up in your VIP tiers, which they mentioned, would be like, so, you know, if you go from Platinum 1 to Platinum 2, you can get a loot box as well, and then you can get free something in it, which those things could be potentially, this is what they mentioned in the Townhall, extra bonus miner days, some NFTs. They just said NFTs. I don't know if that means like a miner or just like a random NFT. Miner war boosts, and then just kind of more to come. So they didn't really mention too much about what's coming in the loot boxes, but those were kind of the high level things. So some interesting stuff there. And if you're going to get them anyways for leveling up, like in a VIP program, then hey, that's just an extra benefit. It doesn't really matter what's in it, because no matter what's in it, whatever you get is going to be a bonus, because you're not getting anything right now. So that's cool. This is another one that was kind of fresh off the presses, sub accounts, which kind of gets me a little bit excited, and I know a lot of people have been asking about. Currently, it is against the TOS to have multiple accounts on GoMining, so don't do it. You can get banned. Just don't do it. Just stick with your one account and you're good to go. But in the future, they mentioned having sub accounts, or it'd basically be like having an account under your account within your account, I should say, where you could, for example, have a farm being your Miner Wars farm and a farm being your solo farm. Or, they kind of described it as like maybe like splitting up your hash rate as well. So, if you wanted to take 50% of your stuff and like, I want some guaranteed earnings, I'm going to put this farm as my solo, and then I want to take the other 50% of my hash rate and I want to go gamble it in Miner Wars, you can do that. Really cool stuff. I'm actually really looking forward to this. And I know a lot of people have been asking for this to be able to do both, because right now it's kind of either you're solo and forget, set it and forget it, or you're active constantly in Miner Wars. There's no like middle ground. This could allow some sort of middle ground. But more to come in the future. Again, this is coming in 2025, they mentioned, but they didn't really touch on it a whole lot. It kind of sounded like a side point. All right, and then we have the GoMining Academy. We kind of already knew about this one in February's Town Hall, but basically it's going to be coming in summer. They said summer 2025, so it'll be coming in summer. It's going to be an educational platform for Go mining and crypto in general. So it'll feature things like how to navigate the Go mining ecosystem, how does crypto mining work in the history of it, managing assets and avoiding scams. So really, it sounds like they're just trying to educate people on crypto and educate people on how to use Go mining, right? They want people, the more people that know about how crypto works and the ins and outs of it, the more it'll be adapted, and the more, the more it'll become more widespread, more wide knowledge, more common knowledge. And then they mentioned that if you complete quizzes for these different topics, you can get rewards like extra days on bonus miner, extra days on your bonus miner. And then finally, we have the API access. This one is, I don't really know a lot about, I'm gonna be honest, but it basically, API allows external people to connect to Go mining tools and services, and then they can make their own stuff. So, it's just another doorway for Go mining to kind of be a central point in the ecosystem for like other developers or companies to come in and build their own external stuff as well. But yeah, that's the API access. And then finally, just ending this on the same exact timeline that I had in the February Town Hall video, just to kind of show you what they talked about back then and where we're at. So you can kind of see we had the launch pad is still soon. We've not really seen that launch yet. Rarity leaderboards came out already. We had the spell stores. Actually didn't come out in Q1, but it is still coming. So they mentioned in February it'll be Q1, January to March, but given that the leagues are coming out sooner, which they mentioned was in Q2, it seems like maybe their timeline might have swapped around a little bit. And then also leagues got pushed out a week. But leagues will come out April 22nd. Bank cards are coming out soon. The VIP program is already out. And then obviously like the travel programs, the academy, and then wallet upgrades. We've already seen some come out, and they have more coming out throughout the year. So that's basically it. That's your recap on April's Town Hall for Go mining. Let me know what you're excited for. Personally, I think I'm excited for leagues. I think I'm excited for the mini games. And I'm kind of excited for loot boxes. I was one of the people that actually kind of liked loot boxes in gaming, but I wasn't the idiot that like spent thousands of dollars on it. I could appreciate a loot box every now and then. Get you that little brush. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. A lot of Miner Wars stuff, honestly. But yeah, let me know what you like down below. And if you haven't, go check out that Miner Wars blog post. Drop the video a like, subscribe if you're not, and I'll catch you in the next one.